Agriculture Minister Floyd Green says he will update the country next week on the plans to help farmers who have been hard hit by the recent heavy rains. Mr. Green made the disclosure in Parliament today after he announced $120 million in relief for fisherfolk affected by COVID-19. Vashon Brown has the details.
The agriculture sector took a battering from the recent heavy rains. Some farmers say their crops were destroyed and their animals killed. Opposition spokesman on agriculture Lothian Cousins asked about relief for farmers affected by flooding.
I appreciate the fact that we are still experiencing flooding, excessive rainfall, and therefore you probably, out of an abundance of caution, would want to wait until you have a full assessment of the damages before you present to us the relief effort for the farmers. It is very important that the relief, whatever relief you are proposing, is presented as soon as practicably possible.
Agriculture Minister Floyd Green says the plan is to speak about the relief for the sector next week since it's still raining. He says though a preliminary assessment has been done, the ministry wants a clearer picture of the extent of the damage to the sector before a full plan is rolled out.
Nonetheless, Madam Speaker, we have already started to respond. RADA has already, through its own reallocation and sources, has already made $15 million available for the hardest hit parishes, which thus far are Clarendon, Manchester, and St. Elizabeth. That will go automatically to the procurement of seeds to be again administered through the RADA office and the procurement of chemicals.
Speaking of relief, the minister today announced $120 million in relief for the fisheries sector, a sector still significantly affected by COVID-19. The minister says about 260 fishers in St. Catherine and St. Mary were subject to lockdowns in April and May, unable to go to sea because of restrictions on movement.
In this regard, 260 fishers from St. Catherine and St. Mary will receive grants in the form of vouchers totaling $8 million. This is to allow them to recoup the loss that they suffered by damage to their fishing equipment that were at sea during the period and that they were unable to attend to.
4,740 licensed fishers will benefit from grants totaling $67 million. $20 million is to be allocated to farmers in aquaculture production and $1 million to ornamental fish farmers. About $30 million will be distributed through MPs with fishing communities in their constituencies.
Each fisher will be provided with a voucher valued at $15,000. Vouchers will allow fishers to redeem fishing gear or material only from participating entities and are therefore not redeemable for cash. Each MP will be allocated between a minimum of $510,000 up to a maximum of $1.5 million.
Vashon Brown, TVJ News.